Um, so the reason you probably had a bad trip on K2 is because you smoked way too much of it. Um, K2 it acts like weed in the fact that it acts as an antagonist or an enemy to your CB2 or your CB1 receptors. That means it doesn't totally block them, but it messes how they work up. Which is why you feel the way you do on weed and on K2. Um, but the difference is between weed and K2 is 10 times more potent, if not more, depending on what chemical is sprayed on the K2. Um, the reason, okay, so say there's people who smoke way too much weed and they get the same effects as K2, fast heartbeat, the super paranoia, um, all that different stuff. Those are people who smoke way too much weed. Say you smoked like 2 grams, 3 grams of this weed. Okay, I don't smoke weed that much, and I don't know if that's too much. Um, K2 is 10 times as potent or as strong as weed. So that's why people who smoke like 3 hits of regular of weed feel just high, and people who smoke 3 hits of K2 feel like they're gonna die. Um, because K2 is just that much stronger. Um, you should only really smoke 1 hit of K2, and that will get you about the same effect as smoking about 10 hits of regular weed, and that's still a lot of weed. So it's okay. So K2 is a lot more stronger than weed, and that is why people are going to the ER because they get really cocky and they smoke way too much K2. They smoke 3 hits, which would be about 30 hits from weed, and that is just way too much. And that is why you sometimes hear about people smoking too much weed. I know that doesn't sound possible, but they smoke too much weed and their heart starts it raises, and they get all the same, not all the same side effects, but some of the same side effects as K2. And that's even why the only reason people have too much side effects of K2 is because they smoke too much, like 3 hits too much. Um, if you're ever gonna smoke K2, you should start off with 1 hit and you wait 15 minutes. If you decide that you're high and you feel good on that 1 hit, don't smoke any more K2. But if you decide that you aren't high enough, you don't really feel anything on your first hit of K2, and it's 15 minutes at best, smoke another hit, see how you feel, and go on. Every K2 brand is different, and you should follow those steps when you're smoking a new brand of K2. So you smoke a hit, you do a hit, or a bowl or whatever, or no, yeah, you do 1 hit of K2, wait 15 minutes, and you see how that affects you. If you decide that you're not high enough, do another hit, wait 15 minutes, see how that affects you, and then go on from there. If you smoke too much K2, it can be very, very um, scary, bad trippy, and you really just kind of want to avoid that. Um, but my real preferred choice is to smoke weed. But if you can't, I don't encourage K2 because I don't know. It can be very misleading and how easy it is to get high off of it. Because you can actually get way too high. With that being said, I want you to rate. Um, put some comments in here so you can discuss. If you don't like what I'm saying right now, go ahead and rebuttal me. And subscribe.